Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land tonight? I hope this finds you well. Lord have mercy, it's Festivus for the rest of us.
Most certainly is. Happy Festivus.
And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff going on. We got, I'd say, at least one out there. Frenzy Wicked Truth's in the house, and Frankie CNC and Woodworking's in the house. Merry Christmas to all of you. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Do something even if it's wrong.
Push buttons. Whatever you do, just push buttons.
Celebrate.
I'm ready to celebrate.
Oh my goodness. I found some things on the web there about Festivus.
Oh my goodness. I love Festivus.
It started out here saying something about 10 things you never knew about Festivus. And of course, we all know that it started out on Seinfeld. I think, everybody knows that that's how it was aired to the public. But Festivus was actually invented by a former Reader Digest editor. Long before Seinfeld, Festivus was invented by a man by the name of Daniel O'Keefe, a scholarly writer whose work included the 1982 book Stolen Lightning, The Social Therapy of Magic. He was also an editor at the Reader's Digest, according to Jennifer Keshland, Armstrong's New York Times bestseller, Seinfeld, How a Show About Nothing Changed Everything. His son, Dan O'Keefe, also became a writer, but focused more on television, including the 1997 episode of Seinfeld called The Strike, otherwise known as the one that introduced the world to Festivus. Here's more on that and everything else you ever want to know about Festivus. And this thing goes on. I'll read some more of these.
Wow. I thought it was an entirely Seinfeld thing.
Nope.
Seinfeld got it from this guy.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So there's some more things here about it. I'll read some of those as the show goes on. But I thought, well, this fits right in.
Yeah.
So we just tell some of these stories tonight.
Good. I love Festivus. It's just, it's an anti-holiday. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of a tree, you have a pole.
Mm-hmm.
Tinsel is distracting.
That's right.
That's what he said. No decorations. High strength to weight ratio.
Yep. Rich Vibes is in the house, and Jim Bashers is in the house. Good to see both of you. Hello, Jim's a little under the weather, so I hope he gets to feeling better soon. But this ain't no time of year to be sick.
No.
Santa Claus don't like sick people.
No.
It's hard to drink your eggnog and dance around the tree.
Oh, I didn't buy any eggnog.
I don't do that. It would go bad before I'd get older. I don't eat enough to keep a bird alive anymore.
Is Costco open Christmas Eve? Costco.
They should be in the morning.
No, they're not open Christmas Day. Open Christmas Day. That's not what I want.
It should be Christmas Eve because people be running around trying to.
I found an article. What are Costco's Christmas Eve 2021 hours? Costco's open from 9 to 5 on Christmas Eve, Friday, December 24th.
Yeah.
Because they have eggnog up there. Maybe I'll run up and get some eggnog.
Most everything closes about 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Always.
Yeah.
There's very little that's open past that.
I'm having family over at the house.
I noticed today I had the radio on for a little bit, local channel, and there are a lot of places going to be closed tomorrow, but they're usually, like agricultural businesses and, that sort of thing that probably wouldn't be doing much business on Christmas Eve anyway. So,
yeah.
But yeah, all your retail places going to be open in a little while.
Brenda, I made the mistake today at 3 o'clock. Well, 2:30. We wanted to run out and get lunch. We decided to get Chick-fil-A ordered in through Uber Eats. Mm-hmm. It was more than double the cost of the order to have it driven to us. We're like, I'm not paying that, because it was like $25 order would be like $65 to get it to the house. I'm like, I'll just run up and get it. I go into this, like the whole shopping complex. They got a Wegmans, they've got a Target, and they've got a Best Buy, and they've got all the strip mall. It's a big, it's a big shopping center. It's not a mall, but it's one. It was gridlock. I went in there on the streets. You couldn't budge. The cars were moving, and I'm like, oh my God. I got into it a little bit. I parked as soon as I could, walked across the whole shopping center to Chick-fil-A, walked into Chick-fil-A, got my order, walked it back to the car, and then slowly tried to fight myself out. I didn't go any of the back roads because the back roads were all, like the exits that took you to the back roads were all backed up. I went out to the main highway, and I hauled it all the way down to the other end of town, and then got the other highway. Like I took the long way home, which was actually the fastest way. Because if I would have went directly, through the back roads, it'd have been all stop signs and stop lights, and it was insane. I've never seen so many cars. There wasn't a free parking space anywhere, and all the roads of the parking lot were all jammed up, and everyone's trying to go this way and this way. And I'm like, let me get over. Finally, a car opened up where I could just go down an aisle and hopefully get stuck somewhere else. But everyone was all ass to ass bumper, and they wouldn't let anyone through. I'm like, please let me through. And then I'm yelling at the lady up ahead that won't let me through. And the lady right next to me, she rolls down her window. She goes, this old lady's been on my butt the entire time. I don't know where she's going. Like, she was 4 inches from the bumper. I'm like, why? Why do you gotta be 4 inches from? It was ridiculous.
Jim Dockrell's in the house. Margie TV's in the house. Portal Woodwork's in the house.
Hi, everybody. Happy Festivus.
Harnell Media's in the house. Good to have everybody with us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, see, that's why the delivery was so expensive, because they wasn't wanting to fight it either. But yeah, I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and they was telling me that their Lyft and their Uber stuff where they live is just off the charts for just trying to drive them like a mile is astronomical. And they said, then you're going to want them to take you back home, so you got to pay it twice. And wow.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. And, we had the shopping done. I just wanted to go there for food. But people weren't going there for food. They were going for Target. They were going for Best Buy. They were going for all the shops that were there. Even the bank lines were like, oh, my gosh, everything is busy. I'm like, holy cow.
Now, I did run up to the bank today, and I didn't have any problem. I just pulled right up there to the drive-thru and did my transaction and got back out of there. But, yeah, it was quick and simple and easy, and it was right around lunchtime, too. I thought, boy, I tell you, I'll be waiting in line for an hour today. But no, it was simple.
I tell you, well, it was so crowded that Chick-fil-A was not really that crowded because you just couldn't get to the location. Like, you couldn't get there. Usually it's wrapped around the building 4 or 5 times. It really wasn't. But it wasn't because people didn't want Chick-fil-A. It's just because they just couldn't physically drive to that location in this big shopping complex. It was nuts. So I walked right in. There was one person ahead of me in line. I ordered. A minute later, it was ready. I walked out of there with the food. But I just had to walk all the way across the complex. If I'd have drove to it, it would have been an hour. It would have taken me an hour to go. How many feet? About 2,000 feet. Like nothing. Just the size of a couple anchor stores. Anyway. Yep. Not a smart move. But I got my chicken nuggets and I was happy. And the dog was happy because the dog eats chicken nuggets.
I'll give you another Festivus fact here. Festivus originated as a first date anniversary. As Dan O'Keefe told Armstrong while she was researching Seinfeldia, Festivus was originally meant to be an alternative to other holidays that were over-commercialized or just some dead guy's birthday. In fact, it began as a celebration of O'Keefe's parents' first date. Each year, the family would gather to look at old photos and reminisce about the passing of time, centered on an annual theme. The 1976 theme was Are we scared? Yes. While 1977's theme was Are we depressed? Yes.
It's crazy with the origins of some of these things. I think if you go to Google, they used to have a Festivus poll. If you searched for Festivus on the search results page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. Look, let me share. Can I share something
Sure.
on screen? Go to google.com. So I did a search here for Festivus in the search bar, and these are the search results. And look at the left. You see the poll right there? That's the Festivus poll. And if you go all the way down, there's this is on google.com. This isn't some, just some funky, like this is the actual google.com.
Yep.
I love it. And then however long the Festivus results are, it'll stretch. Wonder if I go to page 2, if it'll be there. Nope, not on page 2. It's only on page 1. But like it dynamically, it'll grow, fill up the whole page. I just thought that was fun. Oh my goodness.
It says that the airing of grievances was inspired by a Samuel Beckett play. Festivus is a lot more highbrow than you probably thought it was. In fact, O'Keefe told Armstrong that the holiday was built around a yearly airing of grievances inspired by Samuel Beckett's play Krapp's Lost Tape. And that's Krapps, Lost Tape. A copy of which Mr. O'Keefe had lent Mrs. O'Keefe on their first date.
My goodness. Yeah. That was such a great show. I like when Frank Costanza was talking about Festivus to Kramer. He's like, tell me more about this holiday. And he tells him a couple facts. He says, Frank, this is scratching me right where I itch. I'm in. He's, Festivus is back, baby. I'll get the pole out of the crawl space.
Let's see. JJE is in the house, and Parka, and I'm not even going to try your last name because I know I'll butcher it, but welcome. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Parka
Happy holidays. Season's
put a Webb
greetings.
address in the chat. You're not allowed to do that, apparently. So.
And all that good stuff. Glad you joined us. But yeah, you got to have wrench in order to be able to drop web addresses and stuff into the chat, but we're glad to have you with us anyway. Oh my goodness gracious. I tell you what, I'm just worn out after this year. I'm just going to be glad to see her go. I'm scared to death of what's coming, but I'm willing to face it in spite of it all.
I'm hopeful there will be better days ahead.
Well, that's what we said last year.
Did you see my old cell phone I dug out of the closet? Did I show you this?
No.
Look at this thing.
Yep.
Motorola track phone.
Mm-hmm.
This is all analog. This was before the digital phones came out, so it was just using that. It's the Motorola TAC 650. And the thing I liked about it is, after you have an argument and you want to hang up with someone, you have the satisfying. Yeah. Like you can't do that with this. It's just like, boop. It's not the same.
Well, the way I've been handling my new, my telemarketers since the Medicare thing went away, now it's all about student loans and credit forgiveness and all, stuff I don't need. I don't know how they got my phone number and what it's all about, but you can tell them a million times to lose your phone number and they don't do it. So what I do now is that the phone rings and I just hit answer and I don't say nothing. And they don't say nothing. Yeah. Now I did have one day that she was just playing it to death. Hello, is anybody there? Hello. She finally ran out of steam and hung up.
I heard if you have a little tape recorder that can play back the audio, if you hear that doo doo doo, like you've reached a number that has been disconnected, that doo doo doo. If you play that sound, the computer will, on the other end, will pick it up and automatically take you off the list. No request needed, because you can beg to be taken off the list. That means some person has to take some action to take you off the list. And you know they never do. You know.
Well, see, I got, you told me this before, but I got a couple problems with it. Number one is that I don't have one of them little bitty tape recorder things. I do have a big old clunky cassette tape recorder, but then, you know, you got to record it and you got to have it ready to play back, and you have to have it ready when the phone rings to hit the button to play the thing. And, you know, I've already had my day interrupted when the phone rings. So, you know, I might be up to my elbows in paint or God only knows what, and, you know, to have to answer the doggone phone in the first place. And then
you could put an app on your cell phone and then just push a button on your cell phone and play it into the thing.
Well, if I was intelligent enough to know how to do that, I probably could. But there, alas.
Right.
I am technically challenged.
Well, the thing I've been having. Okay.
Okay, there's a second thing. I haven't been able to find that sign. I searched the internet one day looking for it, and I couldn't find that sign. SINE sign. Do, you know, whatever it is.
Oh, do. Yeah.
I couldn't find it. So
yeah, probably take some digging. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
I don't know, you know, who you gotta rub up against in order to be able to get that. But
what's it called? Numbers disconnected tone. Connected tone. Find it. Yep, right there it is. Here, let me turn on USB mix minus. Turn off USB mix minus so you can hear. I'll play it. Okay, would you like me to play it?
Well, you can play it.
Okay, I'll play it.
I don't know that does me a whole lot of good, but okay.
Well, but I just hear it. This is it.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected
Can you hear that?
or is
Yeah.
no longer in service. We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been.
Yeah. So if you could somehow get that, or you can just figure out what the notes are and just sing it back. You know, just C D F, whatever.
If you do.
FFU.
I was there for a while singing them Christmas carols with my own words made up to it. You know?
Oh no, I hesitate to ask.
Like jingle bells, your feet smell. Please hang up the phone. I didn't ask you to call me, and you keep doing it anyway.
Leave me alone.
Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. I wish you'd leave me alone.
You can go F yourself.
Yeah, there's a little of that in there too. What the hell is wrong with you that you keep calling my phone?
This is quality content, people. How are you liking this?
It would all just be off the cuff too. The phone rang, I just open it up, you know, and here we go. Okay. I wouldn't give them a chance to say, hey, you know, anything, nothing. But it slowed down a little bit after the Medicare thing cut off, but then it picked back up again. And, you know, if they can't get me to talk, then they'll call back and go straight into voicemail. They got some kind of button they can push. It'll put them right straight into voicemail. Aggravates the far out of me. And then they get in voicemail and they're starting all this crap about, one of them says, I'm calling from the attorney's office and I don't know if you're getting a lot of collection calls or not. And I thought, well, why in the hell would I be getting collection calls when I don't owe nobody nothing except for my car? So, you know, this is some fictitious scam thing and you need to leave me alone. But no, he's called probably 30, 40 times, always leaving these voicemail messages and stuff. And
that's
I thought, well, it wouldn't do no good to call you back because you just don't listen. You know, you won't leave me alone.
Have you been getting these cold call text messages? I've been getting a lot of those lately, text messages.
I get a lot of text messages. They come through as multimedia messages, and I get the opportunity to reject them, and I reject all of them. I don't even read them.
Oh, thank you, Rich. Rich is going to figure out that soundbite for you. He'll give you a technology solution that might work for you.
All right.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of stuff over text. I can't seem to turn it off because you can hit the little info button next to the header of the income, and there is a block this caller. But I don't know if it's a block the caller from text. I don't know if it's block this
it
caller from
it
voice.
blocks them from that number from the text, but they just take a different number. Is what they do. They spoof a different number and they screw you again with their crap.
I must have blocked 10,000 numbers over the last quarter.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
At some point, we're going to deplete the number of physical numbers that you can call from.
Here's one that aggravates the far out of me.
Oh, what is that?
It's a few letters and a bunch of question marks. Few letters and a bunch of question marks. And you go all down through that trying to figure out what the hell are they saying to me. And it doesn't make any sense anyway. Once you get all the way through it, something about being reimbursed from a policy and when they put all them question marks in there that it's spam. There ain't nothing real about that. I get them doggone things just about every day. So, I guess this is my airing of grievances for the Festivus.
I get stuff like this, like global warming survey, and it says text stop to opt out. I don't want to send them a message back from me. I don't want to say stop. Then, this guy, he got the message.
Yeah.
So
now we'll put him on 50 different lists and you'll get all these messages from everybody.
I'm getting some that are like
Marilyn W's out there. Hey, Marilyn, good to see you.
Oh, look at this. Your package with tracking code is waiting for you to confirm. And then it goes to sinisterquail.com. You see that?
No, I can't make it out.
SINISTER. That's sinister, right?
Yeah.
Quail, QAIL.com. Why would someone named sinisterquail.com have information on my package?
Yeah.
Then I get some like, you got 50% off your AT&T bill. Go click this link. And the link is like xzwfy.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't clicking that.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I get that kind of stuff too. And I get the one about you just want a PS, whatever it is, or a Sony, whatever it is, or, an iPhone or whatever. No.
Yeah, I'll pass. Thank you.
Good gravy. If you weren't a QCon member, you wouldn't get those.
QAnon.
Oh, well, I don't think I'm one of them either.
That was the leaker from the White House that had Q level clearance. I guess when you're in intelligence circles, they have clearance based on the alphabet. And anyway, that's don't say that word again. YouTube will pick that up as a flagged word. I shouldn't have said it myself.
I try not to join anything. I'm a non-joiner.
Right.
I've been involved.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I've been involved in too many clubs, and it's always been a mess. And
if it ends in ism, it's not there.
Or even like dog clubs, radio clubs, rabbit clubs. I've been involved in all kinds of different things over the years, and it always ends badly.
Well, you have your BrendaG's Designs Facebook group. That's a group.
Well, it's not a club.
Not a club. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have like presidents and secretaries and treasurers and, all that kind of thing. Because I'll go in, really good intentions that I want to help and I want to, be part of the membership of the thing. And so I say that, and the next thing I know, they give me the nastiest job they got that I don't know how to do. And I tell them, I don't want this job. I don't know how to do it. And they say, oh, you'll be fine. We'll help you. They ain't no help whatsoever. And then when the job don't get done, they're looking at me, shaking their fist at me, and me telling them, look, I told you I didn't want this job in the first place. I don't know how to do this dumb thing. And So then they want to come over to your house and spend, 5 or 6 hours trying to explain to you how in the hell to do the job that you're not interested in doing in the first place. And, that's one. And then when I was the president of the dog club, that's when my dad had his stroke. Well, I'm sorry, family comes first. And I tried to do the best I could for the club, but I'm explaining to them, look, I'm not going to be able to make all the meetings. I'm not going to be able to do all this stuff. If you got a problem with that, then we need to get a new president elected. If you don't have a problem with that, I'll hang in the best I can. And next thing I know, they're bad mouthing me up one side and down the other about why in the hell ain't I coming to the meetings and why am I not doing this? And I said, I'm done. I can't. I can't be everything to everybody, and my family comes first. Sorry. And
well, I stepped down from the Harrisburg Senators fan club. That's the AA baseball team. I was the vice president, and I pulled myself out of that. It was just a lot. It was a lot, and I'm like, I'm the marketing guy. I'm the internet guy. I can get the membership up. I can get the word out. I can get people coming in. But the reality is, people just aren't that jazzed about a AA baseball team. Like, it's a low tier type of entertainment. They're just not that into it. And so, despite my best efforts to kind of boost it, it didn't go anywhere. And so now I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna step to the side. Still be a member. I'll still go to the meetings, but I'm not going to do any of the heavy lifting anymore. Yeah.
Well, Radio Club, I was the president of that for 10 years, kept telling them, I won't be the president anymore. Put somebody else in charge of this. Come on. And, oh, no, we like you as the president. We want you in the president. And then the next thing I know, a couple of them that I had really thought were very good friends, I held them in high regard, stole the club's radio equipment. Several $1,000s worth of radio equipment.
That ain't right at all.
And then when I found out about it and come unglued, well, I was just overreacting.
Thousands of dollars overreacting? Come on.
I told him, I said, look, I should have had you guys thrown in jail is what I should have done. But instead of that, I'm going to do us all a favor. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm gone. Here's the resignation to put it, so that you got it in writing. I'm out of here because you're not doing that to me. It was a club that was not a 501c3. Okay. So that meant that if there was any damage done to anything by our equipment, the officers of the club were responsible.
Yeah.
And could personally be sued for all of it. Our insurance would not hold up, for any foolishness.
That's not right. Oh, Rockstar's here. Rockstar 8970 Abel. Hello.
Hello, Rockstar. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
But, I said, no, we had a contract with a very sizable business in downtown Dayton to have our equipment in their facility, a contract with them that, we would maintain our equipment and certain equipment would be in there. If there were any changes, they would be let known. These guys didn't say anything. They put some substandard equipment in the place of our stuff and left us wide open for lawsuits. We could have burnt down the building. I mean, my God, my blood ran cold when I figured out what they'd done. I said, oh, no. I'm done. I'm out of here.
You don't want any part of that. Oh, thank you.
And I've had some other clubs, say, oh, we wish you'd come and join us. I said, as hell froze over. Once bitten, twice shy, I ain't going into nothing again. That's it. I'm done.
Zero liability.
It's like every club I get involved with, there's, it's another issue. And no, not open for that. I got enough problems in my personal life without, opening myself up to that kind of foolishness.
No, yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Okay, Rich Vibes. Excuse me. Rich Vibes says that he sent me that link. So I will check that out after the show and see if I can figure out how to record it into my phone or
He
something.
sent you an MP3 file, and yeah, a couple options there for you. But okay,
Maybe
to
I can
start. Thank you, Rich.
figure out how to buzz that in some people's heads.
Rich is a good man. Rich was on my show.
Yeah, I saw him on there.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
I was watching. I was trying to promote this show and stuff at the same time. But yeah, I was watching and flipping back and forth and burning up the keyboard, moving things around here.
You know, I'm thankful for the people that were in the chat. I'm thankful for the people who were on screen. You know, it's good time.
Let's see. Find another one here. It says, yes, the name has a Latin root. Part of what makes Festivus seem so established is the name. It sounds like something that's been around since ancient times, and there's a good reason for that. It does have a Latin deviation. I don't know. According to Armstrong in Sunfieldia, the name Festivus comes from the Latin word festum, which means feast. Want to learn more about this dead language? Here are 18 Latin phrases that will make you sound smarter. And you can click on the link here in this. Let's see. I found this over on Google, and it's artifacts about Festivus. So if you want to look that up, you can learn more about Latin. It's a
dead language. They don't teach Latin anymore. They
Yeah.
used to teach it as a language. No one speaks it. It's only, you know, in medical references and other things like that.
It says the pole wasn't part of the original Festivus celebration. One of the most iconic parts of the version of Festivus seen on Seinfeld is the ceremonial pole, which the Costanza family proudly displays in their home. But there was no pole in the O'Keefe household, Armstrong wrote. There was, however, a handwritten sign that read F fascism, later changed to screw fascism at Mrs. O'Keefe's request. The other important decorations included a clock and a bag, the meaning of which was never revealed to Dan and the other O'Keefe children. Looking to start your own holiday too? Here's 15 warm, fuzzy holiday traditions you'll want to start this year. And you can click on that link and it'll give you some traditions you can start this year.
What good is a clock in a bag? That's interesting.
I don't know. Unless you put the clock in the bag and hit it with a hammer.
Shouldn't be breaking clocks.
Trying to stop time.
Well, I don't think that would work. Don't think it would work. Did you hear about the James Webb Space Telescope?
I heard that there was a new space telescope they was going to be trying to get out, but it was going to be a little while before they could actually get it out, get it up, get everything working the way it's supposed to. So in the meantime, they was going to rely on the one that's already up there.
Yeah, the Hubble sees in a different color spectrum than this thing will. This thing is mostly infrared, and took 20 years to make. I think it's $20 billion to make this darn thing, and it's only going to last between 5 and 10 years. And they're putting it so far out, it's not going to orbit the Earth. It's going to orbit the sun with the Earth. It's going to be so far. You're not going to be able to reach it once it's out there. It has a docking port, but there's no intention to ever go back to it once they stick it that far. It's way outside the moon and everything. It's called the Lagrange Point. It's this certain area of space where the gravity of Earth will tug it along. Like it has very minimal energy it'll kind of like stay stuck in that one little spot. And yeah, it's crazy. And it's so powerful. It's going to see so far away. Literally will look back in time. Because when you look at a star, you're looking at that star as it existed thousands of years ago, because it's taken that long for that. Well, there's one star that's 4 light years away. still, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And they think they weren't originally going to do this, but they're like, well, why don't we point it at some of the planets in our solar system? No, we just want to look way out. Like, why not? Let's look at the polar caps of Saturn or something like that. And they could get interesting science off of that, because even Pluto, with the Hubble telescope, Pluto is only like 8 pixels. Like, as powerful as the Hubble telescope is, it's only 8 pixels on the screen. Like, that's how far and how small some of these objects are.
Yeah.
But this thing is it's got a much bigger mirror, and who knows? It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pictures we get. I was looking at something the other day somebody put up showing the pictures from the Hubble, and those are amazing.
Yeah.
There was over 100 pictures on this website that played in a slideshow, and it was phenomenal.
Could you imagine being on that team? Like, everything has to go right, because if something goes wrong, there is no way to fix it. Zero way. Once it's out there, you can't get to it as a person. Maybe you can send robots out there, maybe, but they haven't even figured that. I mean, they haven't even built that. They haven't figured it out. They're like, it's got to work. There's no other option. I think it's even going to take like 3 weeks just to unfold. Like, there's a delicate ballet of hundreds of operations. Servos got to go. Things have to expand out. The mirror has to go snap into place. And they even built it not sized correctly. Like, the mirrors don't fit properly, because when it gets up there, it's going to freeze and it's going to change. It's going to shrink things. So they're building it and it doesn't even fit together on Earth. But once it's out there in the freezing cold space, the metal's going to contract or expand or whatever. And then it's supposed to, like, and the one senior engineer, he's going to retire like 3 days after the rocket lifts off.
I bet.
Why isn't that convenient?
He'll take his money and run.
Oh,
yeah. Jeremy Day's in the house. Good to see you, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
And Portal Woodworks is in the house.
Portal says Proxima Centauri is 4.24 light years from Earth. So a light travels 186,000 miles per second. So how many seconds are in 4.24 years? Times that by 186,000. That's how far away the closest other sun is to our sun. That's a long ways away.
Yeah.
You think, oh, it's only 4.24 light years. If you went the speed of light, it would take you 8.5 minutes just to get to the sun. Just to get to the sun. It'll take you 45 minutes to get to Jupiter. I think it takes an hour and a half light to travel to Saturn. Like, the distances are just astronomical when it comes to space. It's just crazy.
Luana Pierce is in the house. Hello, Luana. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Festivus
to you.
All that good stuff. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I hope everybody's having a good holiday. I mean, mine never amounts to a whole lot, just me and the dog.
Well,
and to us, it's just another day.
We are going to have so much food in this house. You can come over and help me eat it. We're going to have sandwich wraps. We're making meatballs. We have chicken salad, which I'm not a big fan of. And then I bought 6 bags of snacks. Tracy bought 3 bags of snacks. I can't eat most of the snacks because it's all carbo, it's all potatoes and, wheat, crackers. I can't eat any of that stuff. So I have bags. I bought Mexican Coca-Cola with the real sugar in it, in bottles, in glass bottles. I'm pulling out all the stops, and the bar's fully loaded.
See, now none of that even stirs me, because I'm not eating enough really to keep a bird alive. I eat like 1 meal a day, but it's spread out through the entire day. I just nibble on this and nibble on that. And
Oh, 5.88 trillion miles in 1 light year. Well, there you go. So 5.88. Let's do some math here, shall we? All right. 5.88 times, what is it, 4.24 light years? So that's 24, almost 25 trillion miles. Not billion, trillion. Almost 25 trillion miles away. And that's the closest star.
Better pack a lunch for that trip.
Oh.
We got Miffy Bitted in the house.
Hello, hello.
I don't believe you've been here before, but welcome to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the holiday Festivuses.
Yeah, I think when I go to pick up the sandwiches, I'm going to see if Giant has eggnog, and maybe I'll buy some. I like having eggnog for Christmas. Get some rum, and get some eggnog, or get some what do you call it? The spice on top of it, cinnamon
or nutmeg, or
nutmeg. Yeah, should be yummy.
People have funny ways of celebrating holidays. I was telling Matt before the show started, and my friend Dennis is back in the hospital again. He's been having trouble breathing, and he's been in and out of the nursing home, in and out of the hospital and all. And the other night he had EMTs take him back to the hospital because he couldn't breathe. And nobody's been able to figure out what's wrong with him. Well, when they get him to the hospital, it's a different hospital this time, they figured out that his vocal cords are paralyzed and they're blocking and restricting his airway. And he had to have an emergency tracheotomy yesterday morning. And he sent me a text yesterday afternoon telling me that he was back in ICU after the tracheotomy. And I said, most people get candy and cookies for Christmas. And I think you're just showing off.
That's a funny comeback. See, I like when you're really good friends with people and they tell you devastating news and you're that close with them that you can give them a zinger at that time. It doesn't happen often in life, but it is.
He probably didn't really appreciate it, but he saw the humor in it, and he knows me and knows where I was coming from. I was trying to make him smile a little bit in the face of adversity, and I didn't bother him today. I know he's got a lot on his plate and a lot to try to comprehend at this point, but I'll be in touch with him tomorrow and find out how he's doing and see what's going on with him. But Lord have mercy. This has been going on for months, and it all started with one of them tubes they put down his throat during an operation, for the anesthesia. And I'd love to know. I'd love to be there just one time, see how they remove those. Because I'm thinking what they do is they just wait till that tube dries out in your throat, and they don't lube it with nothing, and they just grab it and yank it, skin and all, out of your throat until your throat's raw. And they didn't do anything to try to help him. And it was 2 weeks later, he was back in for another operation. And then a couple of months later, he was back in for another operation. This never got a chance to heal. And they never did anything to try to stop it. They'd say, well, I think you might have an infection. And they put him on amoxicillin or something. And it's inflamed, but nobody knows why. And I could have told him why. Look, you've aggravated his throat half to death. He trying to rip off the skin from the inside of him out of him. Do something to help the man heal.
Luana says they untape it and yank it slowly.
Oh, I don't think that they do anything slowly.
My wife's a respiratory therapist. She can come in here and tell you if you really want to know.
When I had my operations, they did two on me. One was for biopsies and all that kind of thing. That was a precursor, to make sure that giving me the hysterectomy was the right thing to do. And, it was one of them things we had to go through. Well, when I got out of the hospital from that, my throat was so sore. Oh my God. I thought, Lord have mercy. I've never had a sore throat this bad. And the next thing I knew, I had bronchitis. And then that started trying to turn into pneumonia. And I get myself to the doctor's office and I told him, I said, this started after they took that anesthesia tube out. I was fine before you guys operated on me. And now look at me. I said, you're going to have to give me a Z-Pack because that's the only thing that's going to work on this. And let's get this healed up. So they got that under control. And then when I went in to have the hysterectomy, I'm laying there in the pre-op room, and the anesthesiologist comes in to introduce himself to me. And I grabbed him by the collar and pulled him down to the bed. I said, are you the one that worked on me a couple of weeks ago when I was in here? And he says, I don't believe so, ma'am. And so I turned him loose and I said, well, you be glad because I'm about ready to whoop somebody. And I told him what had taken place. And I said, now listen to me. If you're going to be my anesthesiologist today, you make sure that you do not rip all the skin out of my throat and make my throat sore like that again and set me into pneumonia, because if you're going to do it, kill me. And, he just kind of looked at me and I said, you're going to want to kill me, because if you don't, and I'm still alive, I'm coming looking for you. I've done taken a mental picture of what you look like.
Wow.
I will hurt you. And the next day after the operation, my throat was just a little sore, but it wasn't, anything astronomical. So yeah, I think when they pulled it out the second time, they took it out slow. But I think the majority of times, oh no, they're just in a big hurry. They're wanting to get out of there, get to their next operation. So they just whip it out of there.
Well, speaking of Christmas traditions, the Haases have a Christmas tradition that's a little different. Do you want to hear about it?
Sure.
So we play poker. Not just any poker. We'll play all kinds of games, but we mostly focus on something we call scat. It's a 3-card poker game where you try and build a poker hand just with 3 cards, and it's a matter of picking up and discarding and going around and around, and then you can see what other people discard, and in your head, by process of elimination, you can kind of guess, are they going for clubs, are they going for heart, and then you can discard like that. And the whole point is everyone starts with 3 $1 bills, and you play and you play and you play until we all have to show our cards, and then there'll be one loser, and then the one loser abandons their dollar. So it's not everyone losing at once. So you can play like 20 different rounds and you only lose $3. So no one really gets hurt. No one's out hundreds of dollars. So it's a fun social game.
I cannot tell you how relieved I am, because when you started this whole story, I thought you was going to say that, well, it's a little different than what other families do. We play strip poker.
No, family, come on.
The Lord, where's he going to go with this?
Well, it started at my uncle's house. And, you always have that fun uncle. And he would have a big Christmas bash every year. I mean, wall-to-wall people. And the poker games and the scat games would be going. And it was just so much fun. And the one uncle, Leon, the wife's like, don't you eat any more cookies, Leon. You are going to throw up. He goes, don't tell me what to do, woman. And he's eating his cookies. I told you not to eat the cookies. And all night long, you're going to throw up. He eats the cookies. He ends up throwing up because he ate too many cookies.
I'll show you. Watch me throw up.
I got to tell you this story. So we were playing scat Christmas at my uncle's. And Evan was 7 years old. Like, he was a young kid. And I had a digital camera with me. It was on the table right in front of me. And the most amazing thing happened. So my uncle had false teeth, so he would dislodge the teeth and kind of push it forward, just kind of give a little relief. And he would do this every now and then put it back and whatever. And Evan was just looking straight out like, what is going on? Like, he didn't say anything, but he's just fascinated by this. And he finally sees him looking at him after a while. He says, what are you doing with your teeth? He goes, he takes the teeth out and he touches the back of his hand with his teeth. And Evan looked at his hand with disgust. It was like he was just touched with something radioactive. He's like, then people at the table started laughing, and he finally started laughing. He had no idea what to make. Little 7-year-old never saw anything like this in his life, and he was, it was. I went to take a picture, but after that, he wasn't making the face anymore. Like I wasn't fast. It was only for like 3 seconds, but it was so funny.
Yeah, kids are always so fascinated by dentures and anything to do with dentures that, Lord, I'll tell you a funny denture story. At least I think it's funny.
Okay, maybe we can wrap up after that then.
It wasn't funny to the people at the time, I'm sure, but my stepmother told me this story. She had a friend that lived just right behind her in a condo complex. And her friend used to go out to the nightclubs. Now, this would have been back in the 70s, okay? They used to go out to the nightclubs and have a few drinks. And one night they was out at the nightclub and they met a couple gentlemen at the nightclub. And they, all of them had been drinking, fairly heavy. And so the lady said, well, why don't you come on back to the condo and, we'll fix some breakfast. We got eggs and bacon and stuff, we can make breakfast. And so the four of them liquored up. They go back to this lady's house that ended up being my stepmother. And so the ladies are out in the kitchen and they're cooking and gentlemen are sitting in the living room. And there was a bathroom right off of the kitchen. And all of a sudden, with all this cooking and all the smells from the eggs and the bacon and everything got to my stepmother. And so she goes in the bathroom to, get rid of some of this alcohol. And she did. But when she did, and she stands up and looks in the mirror, she realized that not only did she lose the alcohol, she lost her dentures and had flushed them down the toilet and did not have a second set. And so she steps out in the kitchen and shows her friend what has transpired. And her friend has to go out in the living room and tell him, I'm sorry, but she's not feeling well. And we're just going to have to ask you to leave. And I'm going to have to see if I can't get her doctored back to health. But yeah, the next day she ended up in the back of the dentist office getting her a new set of plates made.
Wow. So they were no good. Did they just end up in the bowl or did they go?
No, she flushed them. She flushed her teeth.
No, yeah, that's goodbye.
So yeah, if you're gonna get sick after if you're gonna get sick and you're wearing dentures, my advice is take them out before you get sick. But I thought, man, I tell you what, that's the kind of stuff that would happen to me, and so to hear something like that happen to somebody else, it's kind of devastating, and it was probably extremely expensive at the time. It is kind of a relief to know that sometimes things like that happen to other people.
Dangers of drinking with Brenda.
With dentures.
Oh, with dentures by BrendaG.Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could be another segment on your YouTube channel.
That's about the only really funny denture story I have. My mother had dentures and she'd pop them in and out and carry on. And it didn't bother me much, but my little brother used to freak out when she'd do that.
That whole one side of my dad's family never took care of their teeth. They all have full sets of dentures. All of them. The whole group. I never understood that. Like, take care of your teeth, people.
Well, it's not even so much as taking care of them. Some of it's genetic. It really is. I'm surprised mine's lasted as long as I have because my parents both had, they took care of their teeth, but they both had dentures. Mom had dentures when she was 30. And Dad, by the time he was 60, had 2 sets or, top and bottom. And so I'm surprised mine's lasted as long as I have, but I really need to get a top plate. My uppers are just wearing out. And you can scrub on them all you want, but if the enamel's shot, the enamel's shot. It is what it is.
I guess so.
Well, listen, you said you got places to be, people to see, things to do. Next week, there will be no Mind Equals Blown. Matt has some other things to do, and it's right here at the end of the year. And well, I'm sure I probably got a bunch of stuff. I'll put my regular videos up. And that's how the fight started. Already went up today, and here in a little bit, the Hever Haven will go up, and I'll put those up next Thursday as well.
I will not have a show on Monday for all things YouTube. That's my 27th show. I will have no show Monday the 27th. I have plans that evening. So,
but we will both be back after first of the year, and
going to hit the ground running in 2022.
That's right. We'll get rested up next week and do our festivity things and all that sort of thing. So we all hope that you all have a wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year, wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate, and be safe out there. Try to, keep yourself healthy.
We love
Take
you
your vitamin
all.
C and all that good stuff. And we will see you round the bend. Night, everybody.
Good night. Be safe.